now if that 7 wasn't there, he doesn't mind bumping the 8 into definite open situation. But with options already, so what he's doing, we talked about when you have 2 balls, it's hard for a lot of things to go wrong. So he's going to leave the 11 and 14 last now to get on the 8 because, like I said, when you have 2 balls to work with and they're near and you have available pockets, boy, it's hard to get out of line. Now, he's gotten a little out of line on this 10, but he's still okay. He can shoot the 12 in after the 10 and fall to the bottom row and have the 11 on the side. Yeah, he's in good shape.
Yeah. I thought he played the position for the 10 to come down on the 14 and the 11 to play those.
Oh, right.
But if he thought about that, he overran it a little bit.
Yeah, and there's.
To be honest with you,
and he's got an upper corner too with the 11, so there's, he hit that a little light. He's going to be a little unhappy about it, but he can go forward off the 11 for the 14. Like I said, when you keep 2 near, you're usually going to figure out something that works pretty well.
Your angle doesn't have to be as precise.
Exactly.
He was able to use it for the 11 instead of the 14.
And there is that funny area that you can't fall on, even though you have 2 there. It just doesn't happen very often. But Darren's got to realize that he's got dead straight on the 11. That's the only one that really hurts here. Otherwise, he can drop a low easily off the 14.
As you say, it looks like he's stopping him.
And he's going to draw to the backside. He'll shoot the 14 and draw to the backside, play the 8 in the corner by the 2. A guy that really knows his 8 ball, I tell you. May not get to see all that knowledge in this race, the 8, or even this entire tournament, but he's struggling right now a little bit still. He said that himself, but he's trying to get back in the grease.
And this might be the grease he gets him there too, because since he is so kind of, I don't want to use the word specialized, but so good at 8 ball, it's one of his stronger. Well, everything's strong about Darren's game, but this might be better than the rotation.
Well, yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you, George. It's just the mindset alone saying that he doesn't have to feel like, hey, number one, that he's that much of an underdog right now, even with not in top form, and then also probably feels like he's going to get a little more opportunity at times.
Well, I don't
some
know.
of the guys.
After watching those last 3 balls that Tiger came with,
right.
Opportunity may not be as available.
Well, that too, but that's a perfect prime example that he might feel like that some of these youngsters might put themselves in some situations that they don't care for. This would have been my worry playing Tyler Starr, that if you can break like that, experience isn't going to come into play too much.
This fucking second ball.
Occasionally it will, and this may be one of them. He's going to have to start off with a long shot on the 13, right?
13 or the 11 if he goes by the 13.
Okay. That's probably better if it does go by the 13.
He's also got the 14 down here on the bottom with a position on the 9.
Oh, no, that's better. That's even better. I thought he was stuck to the 5 there for a second on the other camera. No, that's definitely the shot. Then you really have options. You can go and take care of these 2 before coming back down table. Also, you could shoot the 11 next and drop on the ball that's hanging in the corner pocket. Really, Tyler's one of his strengths here, the long, smooth.
Long, smooth stroke.
Yeah.
Long, smooth shot.
And really being accurate with it.
Sure. Now, you watch Tyler, and it kind of reminds me of, I think, there's another player that I've seen do the same thing. He comes with that real slow backswing, slow middle backswing, and then the forward progress and the forward delivery. Roberto Gomez does that a lot too.
Yeah, there's a few.
But do you feel that's top, or that is natural for some reason?
Well, I think it's a bit of both. Yeah, well, definitely should be broke that way, I'll tell you.
Oh,
that.
yeah.
I think he made, let's see, 4 on the break, I believe it was,
He made quite a few, and
2 apiece.
then that long shot on the 14 just opened everything up for him. Now that just opened Darren's eyes to what he's facing.
Yeah, well, Darren's no stranger, during his World Pool Series, at least the tournament I played in, which was one of the first ones. The break rule was you had to break outside the box, which really slowed that head-on break down and made it to where the runouts were more difficult.
Well, Darren's trip to the U.S. Open 10 ball started out, of course, he lost to Tyler 9-1 in the 10 ball, then defeated Robert Ferry, Kelson Juan, Casper Madigan, and then lost to Billy Thorpe at the end there. So he faced some quality players.
I hate to ask, because I was eating during the end of that last match. Did SVB come back and beat Max, or did Max hang on to SVB?
Yeah, that's actually a good question because let me find that out because Max was actually up on him.
Oh yeah, usually, but I know Shane was coming back. Okay, those weren't hit well. Darren's not going to be happy about the strike on the break there.
Well, Shane lost his match, 8-6 to Max Everly.
Well, Max he played really well. You know, it's just one of those tournaments. He didn't get a paycheck in the U.S. Open 10 ball, but he won a couple of really nice matches of some really good players, and then the 2 defeats he took was he lost a total of 2 matches by 3 games.
3 games,
Yeah.
9-7, 9-8.
All right, so no reason to take a chance here. They're both fairly equal on the run, so I go ahead and take the solids. Just because the three's easier than, like, say, a cut on the 14, and you're not going to lose the cue ball. But he wants to go ahead and get some of that congestion taken away. They came a long ways there. Okay, wants to go ahead and play that little short position, so I would personally try to get on the 1 right then, but this is fine. I don't think it's going to hurt him at all, and it's probably going to turn out actually perfect. But go ahead and get on the 1. That way you could drop on the 5 and go ahead and take that 7 away. Okay, he's going to get on the 5 now, but you want to go ahead and get at that 5, and now he's elevated on the 4 and a little thin on the 5.
Just those little awkward angles.
Yeah, but don't
like that.
Yeah. One policy in 8 ball though is don't try to move the cue ball in position. Use another ball to get position with.
Great advice.
Got so many options that it should be okay, but overall you shouldn't have. Okay, the 7 goes on the side easy, huh?
Sure.
Because you shouldn't have the run he had. You shouldn't have to be cutting the 1 to the upper left. You shouldn't have to take that hard of a shot.
You can go ahead and get on the 1 here. If you want to get on the 2. And he's going to stay on the 5. Or possibly just shoot the 1, stop it for the 5, and then get on the deuce.
Yeah. Just remember, you need to angle on whatever that last ball is getting on the 8. I think that would have. And now, if I can keep this off the rail and make sure I'm nice and heavy on the 1, I don't mind shooting the 5-1-2.
Actually, I like that because he can leave he can
Stop
stop the
shot.
ball right there and just run the cue ball, follow it between the 10 and the 12.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to have any problem. The thing is, you want angle on that last ball, like we talked about, but you don't want a bunch of angle. It's weird. You want angle, but you don't want to be thin.
And he's going to try to get the cue ball pretty much where it is now, just a hair to the left.
That would be nice, but if you fall a little out of it on here.
Well, that's, like you said, use another ball to get where you need to go, and and he's out of balls.
Right.
Now he has to come to the opening.
Right.
Either comes to the window or comes all the way down.
Yeah, this is where you broad position. You come all the way to the other side of the side pocket, really. If you're really guaranteeing that position, you just take the long little chip shot. Okay.
Easy.
All right. Okay. But you know know what I mean? Put a little heavier left spin and broad.
And guarantee the window.
Exactly. Don't, speed isn't required so much. Now a 4-1 lead and breaking, but Darren, he just mishit the break there. Just got a little quick with the delivery and then kind of glanced the head ball. That's why you did see so many right there near the rack. One thing, like I said, I like seeing that the guys aren't having to really work too hard to rack the balls.
Yeah, it's taken not even a minute. We'll make for faster matches, and we'll also make for more rhythm for the players.
Yeah.
And less pain for you guys at home watching them rack.
Tyler Starr's break makes for faster matches as well.
I think Jeremy likes Tyler's break.
Well, it's just
Just
to repeat it, just to keep repeating it, it's so impressive to me. And like I said, he can really do it at a lot of speeds.
And look at the cue ball. He parks it in a position where nothing hits it. That's 2 breaks. And I watched a couple of practice breaks that he parked in exactly the same spot, never got touched.
Yeah, so it's eerily similar to SPV's break, Champagne Bowling. Really, that break won him a lot of 8-ball tournaments, and then he really got to play more of it, became probably one of the best in the world at playing the game as well. That's how, arguably, like, what's the thought process? How open they are, how much room.
Well, the way these balls are laying here, if Tyler just keeps his cue ball, once he gets done with this stuff here, on the outside of the table, towards the outer ends, leaves the cue ball in the middle of the table, he's out.
Yeah. Wonder why he's waiting on the 2, though. You gotta get to that 2. That's what he's doing now. So, good shot there. He'll shoot the 2-1 and the 4 to drop on that 7, and then the 8 last, obviously. Should be 2-1-4, I would think, right?
I like it.
Yeah, I mean that's whenever it's in that theory of using the balls to play position rather than moving the ball so much to play position.
Back to that triangle we spoke of.
Especially with that side of the table so open, right?
Yeah, he's just pointed out exactly where he's going here.
And no bad place to really get. I mean, you could overhit it a mile, I guess.
If he gets down by the 9, he's in trouble, but he's not going to be down by the 9. He's perfect. You could invent trouble. And we saw a player or 2 do that in the 10 ball.
Well, if I ever get back to playing, George, what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out when I make a game with one of these guys, who's going to break for me.
I'm going to take James.
I'm starting to figure it
I
out.
fell in love with his break. His break was so. He didn't pocket the balls as many,
Oh,
but he
no,
has
don't
great
hook
spread.
myself.
Oh, yeah.
And the way they spread out, I liked it.
Shit.
The 8-ball break was devastating. But so is this young man's right here. And where he parks it is amazing. Yeah, it's funny. Our first 2 matches on the stream table, and we've probably seen now 2 of the best breaks that will be in this tournament. The next one I'm interested in seeing is Marco Toucher's. He also had a very good 10-ball break, as both these guys have.
And I spoke with him in between these our first 2 matches, and of course congratulated him again on his win. But just seemed like a pretty pleasant young man, and he's a Euro, and I gotta believe, like I said, the 8-ball is usually one of their foundation games to really try and score. But I gotta believe he's going to be a threat in the 8-ball event as well.
Thank you, Jesus.
A couple other ones I like to see play. We haven't got to see much of yet.
Fuck.
Young Lin Chang.
And Kevin Chang.
I like to see him play 8-ball now. Is this 8-ball going to get pushed in? Is this another drag rate? I think it is.
Well, keep in mind that both of those guys played that Chinese 8-ball too, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, they played in them. I'm not so sure they don't play in all of them.
Okay.
But look at the stripes tied up. Of course, this is just telling you what to do with the solids. He's got to clear the 8-ball open anyways, but one solid over there where that 14-12 is at and everything, and we get to see a little bit of how Tyler's.
You will be the woman on Mars. You will bring forth global cooling. Because when you subscribe to Bloomberg, you won't just get news. You will get insight into limitless possibilities. Before you change the world, Bloomberg.
With an open table, keeping the cue ball clear, right? No problem.
He's gonna have to make a mistake.
Keep it simple.
The way the ball's laid,
Jesus.
he should be able to get through it pretty easy. And there might have been a little bit of a mistake. It just made things a little tougher.
Still okay though. I wouldn't wait on the 5 too long though, I'll tell you that. Just because you'd like to say, man, there's no way I can't get on the 5 and then 8, but there actually are a few positions that you could fall funny where you have to draw to the 8 a little bit or something like that.
I like this right here. I was
Oh,
about to
for
say,
sure.
I like this right here a lot. And now probably the 4 after this. It's gonna
We
be.
got
a
that
lot
right
of
on,
angles,
right?
so
The camera?
maybe not.
Yeah.
But he's gonna shoot the 7 now.
Well, you might go down to the side pocket on the 4.
Okay. Makes sense. Just because of the 11 and being able to get the angle he wants on the 4, I kind of wasn't real happy with it. And he might shoot the 5 ball next unless he wants to spin down. I don't see him shooting the combo into the 5.
No, you certainly don't want to do that. You know, it looks like it's hard to have too much
Mess it
go
up.
wrong, but
Well, you could pocket both of them and move the 8 ball out of play.
true that. Yeah. And that's kind of what I meant as far as
Yeah.
you would have to really hit it hard to have a problem. I mean, it looks like hitting it easy, you'll probably never make the 6 also hitting it easy, and you'll probably get a shot. But you certainly probably don't want to play that combo if all else is possible.
This is just a draw shot to end up in the side pocket on the 6 ball.
Yeah, but this is the one that you mishit a hair. I think you want to get on the combo after shooting the 4. This is the one you can catch a piece of the 8 and the cue ball go a little crazy on you. I mean, Tyler, it's one of his, again, many strengths, the real good long distance draw stroke. Doesn't have to overhit it too much so he doesn't lose accuracy. Yeah, that's nice. Now, as long as you didn't get elevated, you'll just have a little chip shot on the 6 and the 8. And to go up 6-1 quickly, and we'll be breaking, right? This was from another draft.
Yes, yes. They're starting to break in the balls. A couple of scores around the room on some of the other matches. Dennis Hatch and Mason Koch tied at 2. DeLuna over Chris McDaniel 2-1. Chernoff trails James Barrax 5-3. Dennis Shapolio over Danny Olson 6-0. Johnny Mora over Jim Davey 2-1. And is Kevin Chang over trailing Edgy Geronimo 4-2, and Drew Ling Chang and Casper Makinen tied at 3.
Yeah, these matches are moving right along.
Good, we had some tight matches and timely matches during the 10 ball.
And I think you know as well as I do, I expect some more of that as the tournament goes on, but we've got some great matches going on, just like the one you see here as far as 2 of the best in the world. But it's amazing, just the 2 differences in the break shot. Makes all the difference in the world. And now he's got another time where he's really got a choice. He's a little flat and straight on the 1, so that'll keep you off of that because position is difficult. But if he had to, he could get around and get a shot on the 3, but he'll go the stripes, I'm sure, or the two
Yeah,
goes.
it's two balls.
Oh, okay, the two goes now.
That's one.
Now, the thing about the two though, the stripes are so nice also, if the two's any kind of tight, no reason to take a chance on that. In my opinion anyways, I mean.
So it looks like you have to start off with that long shot of the 15.
Well, he's jacked up on the 13, but it's not hard. So this tells me the two's pretty wide open. And if it's wide open, like there's no real chance of missing it, I like the solids. I'll have to produce a little more of something on the 8.
Would have been nice to get on the 5 there.
Yeah. Wonder if the 5 passes that 7 all the way up. That helps things a little bit. Yeah, you're right about that though. He should have shot for the 5 right then.
Yeah. If the 5 doesn't go by the 7, he could probably shoot the 7 now and then shoot the 5.
Yeah,
But
how are you gonna get on the 8? Well, you get on the 8 with, because the 8 doesn't pass the 11, and you can see the 14's got that other corner pretty covered up.
and if he's free ball, I guess he's throwing one ball up there too.
And the 14 covers up the 8 and one of the sides, so you're starting to eliminate pockets on the 8.
That's right.
Still should be okay though. Everything's so open. Yeah, that's a good shot getting on the 5 right there. You can shoot the 5-1 and the 3 to get on the 7 with an angle to come over for the 8 to the side pocket.
Sure, yeah, I like that. That sounds good.
Should be alright there. Thing is, he doesn't want to get straight on the 3. He's obviously going to be off the rail, but he can handle pretty much any angle as long as it's not a lot of angle. He can handle the angle coming to the rail and back over. He can handle the angle just drawn straight towards that 7 off the 3. And I think he's fine. I think just straight high ball, he goes right in between the 10 and 12. Now the one he doesn't want to be straight on the 7. As long as he has an angle on the 7 as well, he can handle either.
As he comes back past that 10 ball,
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. I think more getting elevated over the 12 could be more of a problem. More dead straight in on this ball, but he's going to get there. Yeah. And the beautiful thing is he's got the 8 all the way up also. He doesn't have to get, and force it to get across to the side. Oh, he hit a lot of angle. Actually, almost dove into a horrible position over the 11.
well, you know, as easy as this looks,
Oh, this is missable.
that's what I was gonna say.
Heck yeah.
I don't really want to say that this could be missed by this quality or this level of player, but I'd much rather be 2 feet closer.
Full stroke though. Stick to the full stroke. Don't baby it. Don't think I'm going to try and make the pocket bigger by easing it. Go ahead and keep doing what you've been doing. Usually goes in a lot more often.
And here we are, the young man on the hill, and Darren Appleton have to play catch up, big time. You know, our next match is going to be Marco Tetcher and Skylar Woodward. Out of the 5 of the 6 players that we're going to see on the stream today, all 3 of those are pretty much
All 5 of those.
all five of those got numbers right. All 5 of those guys are pretty much the future here. They're going to be playing each other for a long time. I mean, 27, 24, 23. 2 of them are 27. One's 23, one's 24. Skylar is 26, I believe.
Yeah, and not guys that are like, all right, well, these are the class of some of the class of the future.
Sure, exactly. These are the elite of the
Did he
future.
just break from the side rail? I think he did.
I missed it. It looked by the looks of the ball, yes.
No, I think he did. He broke from the right, his right side rail, left if you're looking at your screen. And now he needs to find an opener. If you get at the the side, that's the one he's won. There's not a scratch, I don't think, in the corner. Maybe off the one is the only way. I don't think he'll scratch in the corner, I don't think. With right English, I think it's pretty impossible to go straight in that corner pocket. Now he's gonna look at the combination because the scratch is worried to him. Just looks like to me it's real hard to scratch just shooting off straight off the 13. Looks like to me you got a better chance to scratch off the one than you do straight in the hole. So he's gonna play the combo on the 7-13. The thing is the 7 gonna bump the 9 at all, or I don't think so.
It looks like it goes by.
I think so too. Thing is, he's, gotta draw position on the next ball, so he's gonna come up at least for the 9 or the 10, I would think.
When you started playing 8-ball, you could do this.
This is what I was talking about. Now he's gotta make a long 10 ball. That's why I was saying that I think he's gotta come up the table for either the 9 or the 10, because you can shoot the 2 and the 1 and away up the 9 and 15.
Shorty. I gotta get the short stick.
And it's got a bigger pocket than the 12 if he wants to shoot the 12 instead of the 10. Right?
With the 8-ball, being there, is it bigger or smaller?
Close, I think it's bigger though.
Bigger, yeah, it does, you can't see the corner of the pocket.
Point, yeah.
Point, you can't see the point because of the color of the table there.
Jamie's still not out of the woods because he's got
God damn it.
on that top rail.
There's a wall here. That's why I
Jumping
fucking
down and shooting.
six.
Well, pocket says 12 and draws back a little, for the 14.
I wouldn't have missed that bullshit if I wasn't there.
15 up on top. He's gonna take this now.
Well, he's gonna take the cut on the 15 from across the table. Oh my.
Yeah,
Well, as well.
3 balls.
Well,
Damn.
It kind of looked like it was going right in the hole at the last minute, kind of just
Dove in a little.
dove in a little bit.
Okay. Alright, now here I try to get on the 3 where I can break the 5-6 open immediately, and if not, I got the 7 in the side. So I'll shoot the 2 and go by the 1, and try and get on in the middle of the table for that 3 ball. I think it lays perfect right here on the 2 to do so, and you got plenty of safety. What's he doing?
Then they elevate.
Oh, he can't get by the 1, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the other angle thought he could get by the 1, but he can't. I still probably wouldn't have.
We tried, he went for it now.
Oh my God, on the 6, I think, that corner.
It worked.
And if not, he's still got other things. He can shoot the 3 right now on the side and go right into the face of the 6, no problem. He'd rather not. He'd rather just shoot the 6 cleanly right now. But he does have to gain position on, what is that down here below? That's it's a 7.
7-ball. Right next to the 8 on the bottom rail.
And he really doesn't have, he could shoot that right now and come into him. I don't think I would do that.
I still wanted, I was still trying to get on the 3-ball. I think I shoot the 6-ball here.
I don't think the 6 goes, that's why
Oh,
he's passing on it. Yeah, he looked at it and looked at it.
Well,
Well, he's hung that ball.
it may not have hurt him too bad. I can see the 9, so if you can see the 9-ball,
Get on the
you can get on
15.
both those balls go by the 8. Well, big victory for Darren here.
Yeah, very similar to our first match as far as it may be over anyways, but this time at the table can't do anything but help there.
Sure.
Similar to Billy Thorpe, with Billy not been played a lot of pool the last 3 or 4 years, but with the equipment change for Billy, oh wow, he's gone a long ways here as well. So
This is gonna get interesting to see how he handles the 14 ball.
yeah, especially with the 8 there and the other pocket somewhat covered up. Gotta go forward with the cue ball and have the 14 going to the 4, correct? And then the cue ball go past them and have the 14 in the side, like a medium high ball, medium speed. I think
I
so.
think he wants to use a little bit more than medium speed, because he's gotta get that 14 to come up. Both corner pockets are blocked.
No, I think that you're gonna follow the cue ball past it. The
Okay.
14's gonna go into the four and stop, and then the cue ball follows past on this side, I think.
It depends if the
He
14
called it
is-
a bank. He called it bank he called it bank shot.
On this 12 ball. Oh, the 14, 12 ball, you call it bank on 12. Look at this.
Wow.
That's how you solve that riddle.
He called the bank and he made it.
You will get a woman on Mars. You will be the first chief crypto officer. Because when you subscribe to Bloomberg, you won't just get news. You will get insight into limitless possibilities. Before you change the world, Bloomberg.
I don't have to move these balls. I'll just shoot around them. What a great shot. What a great play by Darren Appleton.
If you'd have told me, I'd have tried to bet you that he could run out from here without moving a ball. You would have bet that. 100% you would have bet that.
No, it's usually when somebody wants to make a bet like that, they already have the answer.
They got you down?
They get you. Yep.
Now 7-2 with Tyler breaking, so here on in the 10th game.
Another chance to watch this big break. Watch that cue ball stop just above center, dead center of the table. If
Well,
he is.
Jamie Barracks has come back to tie with Channel. Dennis Hatchley's broke 4-2. DeLuna 4-1 over McDaniel. Okoyo and a whitewash so far, and Danny Olson is playing great, so that just tells you 8-0 for Okoyo, how well Okoyo was playing.
Yep.
And it doesn't get slowed down by 8 ball. John Moran, 5-2 over Jim Brady. Kevin Chain knotted up with Edgy Geronimo and Chris Peace, and the same for Lynn Chain and Matt for
Garbage. Fucking trash.
Danny Olson's been playing very well too.
Great
Just lost
talent.
8-0.
Okay, I don't think that ball in the corner goes. Meaning that 15.
Sold out twice in a
14
row.
man.
It's fucking
Thing is, the 2
garbage.
is a very easy shot to follow to follow behind the 14. So if he can get a solid down, even the 1, right?
I actually like shooting this 9 ball first. Are you looking at making solids?
Well, the three is alarming to me, but if the 3 goes, I like the solid, yeah, because the 15 doesn't pass the 1. Like,
Yeah.
I know you gotta break them out, maybe, but.
And usually 11 ball to do that, and then you have the 1 ball guarding that pocket, that ball up in the corner guarding that pocket.
Yeah. But that's kind of what I mean, that the two follows the 14 in very easily. So that's why I was saying if you can just go ahead and make the 1 and just kind of bet you're gonna run out. The 3 is the one that would be alarming to me. The 14 doesn't worry me so much if I have solids.
Okay.
The 4 is easy to follow the ball in as well, because that 14 is deep,
Yes.
very deep in the pocket.
Not sure you can make the 1.
Well,
But that's what I was looking at. That's probably the deciding factor maybe for.
you can get the 1 ball. Well, the 1's definitely makeable, he just may not be able to get at it right now. Again, the 3 is, if I'm solid, the 3 is the one that I would think about how am I gonna get at that, if it doesn't pass that 12 ball.
Tyler is looking at something entirely different than what we're talking about.
I think he's looking at that combination and drawing back and making the 14 is what I think he's, or,
He's got to come back and get it on the 5.
or just getting on the 4 right here and then following the 4 in.
Oh, bad.
He wants to hang that 2 ball. Yeah, but this isn't the way to follow it in. You don't wanna be cutting the 4 trying to follow it in that hole. That's why if the 1's playable, I don't mind opening up the 15 here. And he must have a play on the 3. Must have something. Feels good about it, the 3 ball, right?
It doesn't appear to go by the 12. Well, we're gonna see if that 1 goes. He stepped away from it. case it follows it in, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
Keep
probably.
One of them hit it like that
Let's
twice.
see, like a real ugly 15 ball up to and he's scratched. There's just got hurt.
Ouch. Well, if the 3 ball doesn't go, he probably shoots the 3 combo.
And then leave the 3 there.
Or if the 1 ball doesn't go by, he's gonna do something with that too. I guess 3 ball went.
Ball in hand, it's tight probably with ball in hand. So, and I know the 1 is makeable. You gotta get your position on it. And I'd probably try to draw in a position on it right now, maybe. Or no, I'll just play position on it off the 6, I guess.
Well, the 1 ball must be no concern too.
Now, you'd like to go ahead and get on the 4. If the 1's really not a concern, get on the 4, then maybe the 1 and then the 5 and the 2. Rather than having to play a 5-4 combination here in a second.
Well, if you got a straight on the 6, you could,
Play the 5 first.
Take the 5 first, and then the 4.
Just whichever you feel like is easier to play position on that 1 ball, if the 1 is a little bit of an issue. Don't think it really is, but
I think he's gonna lay up on top of that 5 ball here. Take care of the 1 now. Like 4 and 5. Might get a little, I guess he's gonna play the combo after the 1.
yeah, just stay above it. That's the main thing, stay above it where you're cutting the 5 and the cue ball's going to the rail and up. Nothing can really go wrong besides a big miss.
See, I thought maybe he didn't shoot the 1 ball earlier because it didn't go, but no, he left it there to guard the 15.
Well, earlier as they showed us, I could actually get a look at it, and I'm not so sure where he had the cue ball that he could make it.
Okay.
Maybe with a little left spin to try and grab the 1 a little bit, hold it up and cut it in a little bit. But another one here that's,
And then the lopsided match.
well, just, yeah, a couple scratch, not a scratch on the break, but a couple dry breaks and then a couple of mistakes as well. So is he gonna get all the way in the rail here?
Why he's got 2. Just the middle and just going off the bottom rail.
Man, watch the shirt, because we are playing all ball fouls.
Oh, you're in that hole. Damn it. Ah, this one's even harder.
And close it out.
College Stars gonna move on to the 3rd round of the winner's side. Pretty sure Dan will be back tomorrow. Aaron, the sportsman he is, always with a handshake.
Jeremy and I will be back at 4 o'clock with Marco Pitcher and Scotty Woodward. See you guys tomorrow.
Garbage. Choked. Choked on that shit. Oh shit. I did those backwards.
I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire? I'm a millionaire.
Crypto is complicated, but as a tax expert with crypto experience, you can hand your taxes off to me.
My bad. I
You
did
got your taxes in 10 minutes.
banking
Turbo
before
tax audit.
cooking. Bobby.
Welcome to the U.S. Open 8-Ball Championship, proudly presented by Q Sports International and hosted here in Las Vegas at Griff's Billiard.
Two tries.
This is a quarterfinals match. It is a race to 8. Alternate break, draft your own. Let's meet our 2 opponents for this match. First up, hailing from Canada, we put our hands together for John Mora.
Yeah, and then I think eight
First one,
five.
8-5, I believe it was, yeah, it was 8-5.
So John Moore, if you haven't heard, it was switched up a little over a year ago, maybe 15, 18 months ago, to opposite-handed, but you will see him still break the balls right-handed. And an occasional like touch shot. It's weird, it's like the extremes, he still needs the right, whether it's a light one or a little more heavy.
Well, his reasonings for switching were physical, weren't they?
Right, yeah, neck and shoulder,
Yeah,
yeah.
neck and shoulder. Shoulder issues.
Very,
John-
very left-eye dominant player that's a right-hander by nature.
And there goes the ball down. I think he already had one down, but he got another one.
Well, very effective break, but I'll tell you, he's got some issues. He'd like to start probably with the solids, just because the nine's kind of down by its own and by its lonesome here, but there's not a great solid to start with other than a combination on the 5-7. And say he shoots that, he's got to kind of go into the one a little bit, maybe carry the one up a little for a shot on the one in the corner, something like that. But I mean, if he takes stripes here, he's taking a big chance trying to get at that 9. And the main reason being is because if he takes stripes, he's got to shoot the 14, which leads to the 9 more than anything. It's not great by any means. So I think he's going to try and attack with solids. Even though the 2 is very touchy, there's a few places on the bottom row you can get to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a predicament here.
Yeah, you know, he'd like to say, okay, you know, I can use one of these stripes down below to probably come across and break the 9 somehow, but if he's dead game position on the 9, well, he doesn't get anything. No safety valve there, because if he shoots the stripes, he's got to peel the 14 off first. There's no doubt about it. So he'll go with the solids, that being the 5-7 combo. But this is an interesting shot. Not too much worries. The only worry I have is the next shot, George.
Well, the 5 should kind of stay there with the cue ball off the 1.
Yeah, but he's going into the 1, right? So he's going to draw it, and now he's going to end up hopefully with a shot on the 5.
Let me use the restroom real quick.
Now, the one thing he's done is he's moved the 1 into a little better position getting on the 2, but he's only got the 4 to break the balls with. Now, you consider the 1 as a safety valve, kind of, when you shoot the 4 and break the 3-9 out, but that's a long distance safety valve that comes with some angle. So.
Yeah, he's got that 9-3 present problems for both sets. Both the
Yeah.
stripes and the solids.
And that's why I was worried about that combination, like how that combination shot he had was going to alter him being able to break out the 3.
It's not going to go in. And he's missed that and overcut it.
I still like the solids, unless Tyler's really, really okay with banking the 9 cross corner.
Well, I think he's going to have to go at that 9 ball now off the 14.
Well, the thing is, that's why I say, do you bank it? Because at least the bank, you know you're going to get a shot. If he tries to break the 9 and doesn't come away with a shot on the 9, he doesn't have another shot on the stripe. So that's why I'm saying maybe the bank is a better way to play.
9's a big ball there, but yeah, you're right. If he doesn't come away with it, he's in trouble. That's in trouble.
Yeah, and I may shoot the 10 here and try and push the 13 into the 11 and get something over that pocket. And the reason being is, if I can break the 9 with the 14, if I have something over one of these pockets over here, well, now that's more of a safety valve, right? Maybe kick the 13 up, something. Okay, so this says to me that he's going to play the 9 last to get on the 8, or play the 9 and then the 14 to get on the 8. Because he's not going to be breaking the 9 from here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, not the next few shots either, I don't think.
I think he's going to clear out everything down here on the bottom and go after the 9, like you said, either with a bank or off the 14, and try to win the game from there.
I'm trying to see if he can break the 9. So if he could shoot the 13 and then shoot the 11, okay? And then get an angle on the 12, he may be able to break the 9 with the 14 lane. Okay, he's going the other way. Okay, well you can't. He's looking at drawing underneath this 9 off the 11, like 3 rails. Like we're getting real heavy on it right there, go above the 1, hit the side rail, punch it back side off the 3 rails on the 9. That's actually a pretty good plan, because you got the 14 lane. Don't get too thin on this 11 though. If you get too thin on it, drawing it's kind of hard. Gee, that's going to be pretty thin there. So he's got to get, I'm not sure what he's looking at there.
Actually, leaving the cue ball right there to come 2 rails up.
Yeah, but if you don't break, I'd rather bank the 9. I'd rather have a guarantee, if I'm shooting the 14, right, to break the 9 and the 9's the only strike left, well, if you break it and you don't get a shot, you're dead meat.
Let's see who decides to bank or goes for the breakout. Oh,
He was trying to work it.
Yeah. Well, now he's got the bank.
Yeah.
Or
it's a
get
little-
play better position.
Yeah. He was trying to warp to the end rail and back up underneath the 9, kind of trying to make it really hook. And I wonder if he realizes he can bank the 9, because he still looks like he's trying to get at the 9 with the breakout.
Would you consider going for the 9 ball right here?
If I lay good on it, but the thing is, it tells me the cue ball's going up table unless I dead roll it. And I don't want to get thin on the 14 somehow. If I make the bank on the 9, I want to make sure I win the game. And with him clearing the 4 right there, now the 8's so open, I mean, this has got to work out. We'll see.
Gotta bank it first.
Yeah, now he's got to back cut it, right? You got to back cut this, I think. Take your chances running the cue ball into that traffic, I think. I mean, you got to cross bank on the 8. The 8 goes 5 to 3.
And even if you're gonna come into the
He's
2-1.
going bank. That's surprising.
I immediately thought of the bank, but as you said back, as soon as you said back, I started looking where the cue ball's going. The cue ball looks like it comes down here by the 1-2, and you're probably, it's hard to get hooked.
Right.
In a way, but it's hard to get hooked, and you have a shot on the 8.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about position on the 8 right here. I got to look at this at what do I make more often here? This little back cut to the upper right corner or this cross side back? And don't get me wrong, Tyler can bank the ball as well. He's from an area where they play a little banks. Medium speed, not too hard. Yeah, there you go. That was the right speed for the bank.
Now we started off.
So John Moore, after something we haven't seen much of, after an early miss, is going to get another opportunity to win this game. Maybe just 3 or 4 times on this string table we've seen this situation.
Yeah, not many.
Not many at all. Okay, so even though he's gotten on the 4-3, he should probably still take the 1 and 2 away, I would think. I don't think there's any reason to wait on that.
I'm just thinking, he can play the 4 now, or wait, it doesn't make any difference. But I like the 4 and 3. 4 and 2, actually, and then, he gets on either one of these two, would be the other one needs to stop.
Yeah, the only reason I said that is because
Well, no,
he
it makes
started
sense.
on that end. When you start on that end of the table, that usually means you want to stay on that end. So don't let too many things.
That extra round was really necessary.
Yeah, I think so.
You know that we're gonna burst into flames the instant she puts down the table.
Oh, yeah.
Are you listening to this?
I was just distracted. Our Mobile just came. It's like surprise. You know, like added taxes and fees I wasn't expecting. When I invite you, there's no surprises. You know exactly what you're gonna get.
Yep. Endless darkness and wandering the earth for all eternity with the same.
Normally it takes a real bad miss hit on a ball with a cue ball or something to really make you change your mind when you start off the path. So he's going to shoot the 4. He's a little flat on the 3. John, I tell you, and it's pretty much like that as far as when you talk about guys playing opposite-handed. Is like the first time I laid eyes on Buddy Hall, he was practicing left-handed, and I thought, he just played left. That's how he played. He played so well. I mean, he just missed the ball for about 90 minutes, I think it was. But what I was getting at is most of the guys that really play well opposite-handed, they almost look exactly like they do right-handed. Like John, for instance, here, very similar very similar look. When he switches sides. Same thing with Efren was very similar. Buddy Hall was very similar. Hillbilly, other guy. Yeah, Charlie Bryant really plays good opposite
I haven't
handed.
heard that name in a while.
I actually saw him last night at the Westgate. I went over to watch some friends play a few matches. But like for me, for instance, I can make the shots I need left-handed, you know, like the lean over cuts or a little bit of, but I don't look anything like how I address the ball. Like I have a little bridge,
Yeah.
like a little, you know, like a solid, like a fist bridge, I guess you could call it.
I don't know what it is under the table.
Right.
I have enough trouble left-handed.
Well, I'm a tall guy, so I don't have to do it very often.
Well,
But I'm pretty good at the ones I need left-handed, but.
yeah, and I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Just that little simple small shot that you're
Yeah.
not gonna move the cue ball but a couple of, maybe a foot at most.
Yeah, you're not really putting
Yeah,
anything
not
extreme
putting
on the cue ball. Occasionally having to draw it a little bit, but power draw.
Forget it, I don't even.
That was close.
It's just it's amazing to me
That
that
was
guys
closer than I wanted.
eerily similar they look when they play opposite-handed compared. It's just straight away.
There's some great dates for you folks in between breaks here. Let's come up for you. Keep in mind that the dates for all four of those events you've seen up there are March 11th through the 21st, in 2020. Here's Tyler Steyer breaking the ball. Big break.
Yeah, big break is right. Okay, poured a couple of them in. There's the third. And solid good with an opening 14-3 combination, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
It gets right real quick right there, doesn't it?
yeah, it's funny, right? We're playing the rules where the table's open. But sometimes the table will tell you exactly, like the 15-13's a little funny. You can see the 14 and the 10 up top. So it just immediately leads you sometimes to what's correct. And really a combination that's not very missable, I don't think.
Look,
You'd really have to hit it uber soft or uber hard. You stay in that medium zone, the pocket's huge.
One more.
it looks like something in my bed, a glass of water.
Okay, well here, it'll be something like the 5-1-4-2-6 probably. Huh? Yeah, I think so. 5-1-4-2-6. Just let the next ball lead you to the.
I like it.
Leads you from one ball to the next with minimal cue ball movement.
If anything, he shoots the one ball last, but I'm pretty sure he'll shoot it next.
Yeah, it's there next to the 5.
Five, might as well shoot it now.
Be aggressive with the cue ball here. You can handle a lot of angle from the 1 to the 4. So go ahead and come to the center. Yeah, there you go.
Make sure you can reach it and just work your way down. Ball should be next.
Yeah, it's gotta be, once you set that pattern with these open ones, it's gotta be something very convincing to make you want to change. And the reason why that's so important, is if you stick to that, like if you learn to like play it like that, like you like become very confident in your first look, it'll make you actually play the game a little better. Because usually when you make changes, that ball's moving the cue ball more. I don't think he has to go to the rail here. He'll just pinch it. And that's that fundamental that, Tyler, he's still growing as a player, mentally getting stronger. But man, that technique sure does help. And again, with Tyler, sometimes it's the lack of acceleration. You just gotta make sure he accelerates on that follow through right there, and everything else is set up so well. It's really hard to miss hit the cue ball for him.
He's got it dead perfect on the shot.
Well, he's got some confidence. Both these guys coming off some big wins in the last round.
John,
match.
50 points higher than his. So his Fargo's going way up over 750. Pretty quick.
Yeah, Fargo, like these guys' pool careers, a long-term proposition. So these guys, they just feel like if they can play just solid, well, that's what they want. Solid. You have the great ones and you have the ones that you don't play so well. But long-term is what this pool's about.
So John break the balls here. The players opened up with a bye. John's first match was James Davies, who he beat 8-3. Then he beat Dennis Orfolio 8-4. He lost to Tyler Steyer before. He lost 8-4 to Tyler early in the tournament. And then he defeats Chen Cheng Lu 8-6. Alex Paguline 8-4. Corey Dooley just came off the win this morning. New at 8-4. Tyler, on the other hand, beat Darren Appleton 8-2. He actually defeated John Mora 8-4, as you said. And Kevin Chang 8-5 and Torsten Holman 8-5. So there's our history for this tournament.
You can see our sponsors there: Grip, Cyclops, Moe, Predator, Simonis, JB Cases, and Discount Custom Apparel, CSI, putting on another great event here at Griff's. Pretty successful in the first break, but it kind of got a funny layout. But the balls really separated in that 9 and 3 were ended up being a all right now.
Not again. Is he going to kick it over? No, it's okay.
Sometimes them balls trickle on the sides at the very end, but you could tell pretty quickly how the balls were tracking after the break, and that was that flat one. There's no pop on the cue ball really.
No
Looking at that
scratch.
15
Key
on the
ball is
side,
not.
just because the 5 doesn't go, and again, we got a
Ball's
real
going
lonely
there.
solid down here that doesn't go, so that's why he's wanting to get his stripes, and I think stripes are fine. 14 goes on the 15 goes on the opposite side. He's got the 9 there to get on it. He's got
3
the
out of
13 to
5.
maybe lead towards it. And if he say he got heavy on the 11 later in the rack, or he can stop, shoot the 13, right?
3 out of 5
Go
points.
off with the 4, or got options. So if this 15's any kind of tight to this side, and guess what? Doesn't the 15 go in between the 4-3 all the way down?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so he's passing up on that. He doesn't see that. That's important. So for Tyler's sake here, I hope he doesn't miss this tight one in the side, because I think it did go all the way down. I think.
And if it does, or it did, he'll see.
All right. 5 out of 5 and 3 out of 5.
He's just looking for a position, okay, which is fine. He can hold.
Let's get 5 out of 5 and shut this thing down.
Come to the good side of the 10 and the 12.
Shut it down.
So I think more than anything, it's just all about squeezing this one between that 2-3.
Heck, that should present a problem. Corey, 2 railed the ball between 2 balls. That
I was telling some people at the APA last night about that shot. I'll just, if you get a chance in a month or whenever they do put this up on YouTube, go get you a look at that one now.
Pocket
And
of
it
the
was
ball.
sweet just because the camera was right
Two
on it as
balls,
well.
Stayed in the center.
You could really, you
no
could see
scratch.
the one ball really rotating,
Not-
spinning.
Not
Just
driven
a
to a
cool
rail.
shot.
2 balls
Now
past
here-
the head string. It's 5 out of 5.
I like holding for the
It's 5
12.
out of 5, baby.
10. Only reason being is you can get in that little gray area. I like just using the 12 to get to the 10 instead of, if you get up above the 10, of course that's what you want, right?
All right, that was
But if you
attempt
end up
number
way high,
137.
But if you end up way high or a little short, then it can be a little funny getting on.
I finished everything, right?
He's good here though.
Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 scores. Okay, that's all good.
plays out